And welcome to the Board of Commissioners special meeting. It is Monday, September 30th, 2024, 5:45 p.m. The meeting is called to order. City Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Mayor Brooks,
Here.
Vice Mayor Taglerini,
Here.
Commissioner Kerr,
Here.
Commissioner McGeehan,
Here.
Commissioner Gabai,
Here.
all are present.
I'd like to open up to public comment. With no public comment, we'll move on to public hearings, ordinance 2024-19, and I will hand this over to the city attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm going to read this ordinance in its entirety. This is ordinance 2024-19, an ordinance of the City of Madeira Beach, Florida, establishing a millage rate for the fiscal year 2025, providing and announcing the name of the taxing authority, the rollback millage rate, the percentage increase over the rollback millage rate, and the millage rate to be levied, and providing for an effective date. Whereas Florida Statute Section 200.065 requires the adoption of the millage rate by separate vote and prior to the adoption of the budget, and whereas Florida Statute Section 200.065 requires that prior to adoption of the millage levy ordinance, the following be publicly announced: the name of the taxing authority, the rollback millage rate, the percentage increase over the rollback millage rate, and the millage rate to be levied. And whereas in no event may the millage rate adopted exceed the millage rate, something's missing there, millage rate adopted. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of the City of Madeira Beach, Florida, Section 1, the name of the taxing authority is the City of Madeira Beach. Section 2, the rollback millage rate for the fiscal year 2025 is 2.5300 per $1,000. Section 3, that the fiscal year 2025 proposed millage rate is 8.70% higher than the rollback rate. Section 4, the millage rate to be levied for the fiscal year 2025 shall be 2.7500 per $1,000. And Section 5, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its adoption. That was a reading of ordinance 2024-19 in its entirety.
Do we have any public comment? With no public comment, commissions, any comments, questions? Do we have a motion?
I move the approval of ordinance 2024-19 on first and second reading.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
City Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Vice Mayor Taglerini,
Yes.
Commissioner Kerr,
Yes.
Commissioner McGeehan,
Yes.
Commissioner Gabai,
Yes.
Mayor Brooks.
Yes.
The motion carried 5-0.
Next is ordinance 2024-20, and I will hand this off to the city attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. Commissioners, this is ordinance 2024-20, an ordinance of the City of Madeira Beach, Florida, adopting the budget for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2024 and ending September 30th, 2025, and providing for an effective date. Whereas Florida Statute Section 166.241 requires the adoption of a budget each fiscal year, and whereas the amount available from taxation and other sources, including balances brought forward from prior years, must equal the total appropriations for expenditures and reserves, and whereas at a minimum, the adopted budget must show for each fund, as required by law and sound financial practices, budgeted revenues and expenditures by organizational unit, which are at least at a level of detail required for the annual financial report required under Florida Statute Section 218.32(1). Whereas the adopted budget must regulate expenditures of the municipality, and an officer of the municipal government may not expend or contract for expenditures in any fiscal year except as pursuant to the adopted budget. And whereas the City of Madeira Beach fiscal year 2025 budget is balanced, is presented at the level of detail required to file the annual financial report, and shall regulate expenditures of the city for the period beginning October 1, 2024 and ending September 30th, 2025. Now therefore be it ordained by the Board of Commissioners of the City of Madeira Beach, Florida, that Section 1, the budget for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2024 and ending September 30th, 2025, attached hereto as Exhibit A, is hereby adopted, and Section 2, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its adoption. That was a reading of ordinance 2024-20 in its entirety.
Do we have any public comment? With no public comment, commissioners, any comments? Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the 2024-20 adopt the budget for fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2024.
Do we have a second?
Second.
City Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Is that you? Two? Okay. Commissioner Kerr?
Yes.
Commissioner Gabelli?
Yes.
Commissioner McGeehan?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Taglerini?
Yes.
Mayor Brooks?
Yes.
The motion carried 5-0.
Next is emergency resolution, Resolution 2024-07, and I will hand this over to the city attorney.
Thank you, Mayor. This is Resolution 2024-07, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the City of Madeira Beach, Florida, declaring a local state of emergency for Madeira Beach due to the Hurricane Helene and its potential threat of harm to the people and property of the City of Madeira Beach, and providing for an effective date hereof. That was the reading of Resolution 2024-07 by title only.
Do we have any public comment? With no public comment, commissioners?
So, go right ahead. Sorry.
Is there something to vote on here?
I'm sorry, is
I
it
say, is there something to vote on here, or this is just a resolution?
to vote on the resolution declaring the state of
absolutely.
emergency within the city of Madeira Beach? So to approve the resolution that authorizes the state of emergency for our city. As the resolution states in the whereas, the state declared one, the county declared one, just a good practice for us to do the same. And it's in our charter that provides for how we handle the state of emergency, everything from purchasing, procurement to the recovery.
So basically, it's a funding thing. We're doing these things anyway, it's just the
Yes,
funding
yeah,
piece of it
formalize,
that's
yeah.
connected to it. Perfect.
Yes.
Any other comments? Do we have a motion?
I move that we approve Resolution 2024-07.
Do we have a second?
A second.
City Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Vice Mayor Taglerini?
Yes.
Commissioner McGeehan?
Yes.
Commissioner Kerr?
Yes.
Commissioner Gabelli?
Yes.
Mayor Brooks?
Yes.
The motion carried 5-0.
Do we have any further comments?
Just, Mayor and Commission, thank you again for the support of the millage rate, the budget, and we just have to deal with the hurricane that came through here, so definitely appreciate all of your help, all of your support. The staff very much appreciates it, and certainly our residents and businesses, and we're in day 4 of many days to recover, to respond, to recover, restore, but we are very resilient, and we will make Madeira Beach an even better place to live, learn, work, and play. It'll take some time. We ask significant patience and understanding, but as we are sitting in our commission chambers that has become essentially a commissary, a free commissary, which is kind of cool to a certain extent. So we definitely appreciate your support and everybody in the area and even other states, possibly other countries that are providing the support and help with the relief efforts. So let me know of any questions, anything else, and there's a lot of partners, literally hundreds, and we definitely appreciate their work. And I do want to especially thank the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office for their work and providing everything that they do, and certainly Pinellas County government, and especially their emergency management. We know these are extremely difficult times, but we'll get through it. The more we work together, the better the entire process will be. So thank you.
Very well said. Very well said, Robin. I just have one comment that I know we're postponing our workshop.
Yes.
I'd like to have something added to it with what's going on here at this point. The residential impact fees is something that we've talked about for quite some time, about going through that whole entire process. I was thinking last night, I don't know if it's possible or not. I think the board would support it, but if we just had an addendum, a waiver, that if your home is impacted and the city, FEMA, is forcing you to rebuild based on that 50% rule, there should be a waiver, and it could be just that simple. So I'd like to investigate if that's a legal way to do it without the ongoing studies and whatnot. So just like to put that into the workshop if possible.
Certainly, and we are currently waiving fees for any permits specifically right now for demolition will update as we go on, but we will certainly add that and likely, just as you said, just waive those fees, but we'll come back to you.
Appreciate that, thank you.
Any additional comments?
I know there's so many people to thank, but sometimes he goes unrecognized. As Mr. Gomez has done an amazing job of disseminating information, staying in contact, coordinating countless projects throughout the city. I just want to give official gratitude for all the work you've done, sir.
Thank you.
Any additional comments?
I guess strong times, tough times make us stronger. I must say that I've gone to see a lot of my neighbors that I did not used to see. I've been in this town almost 19, 20 years. So I think this hurricane brought us a lot closer together. I think we are able to appreciate life a little bit more and realize that the material things really don't mean anything. So just wanted to state that to our residents that there is a God. You know, tough times happen. We stick together. We help each other. We can get through this.
I would just like to say, I had thought I wanted to prepare something and think about what I wanted to say because it's always important to me to be prepared, but I did not. It has been a really rough 4 days for our city. I've been out in the city, and there's not a single home or business that is not affected by this storm, and they are devastated. So
Thank you.
our staff has been incredible, our fire department, and we will be stronger and better, but that is a easy thing to say now. It's hard for anyone, all of us that are affected. However, there are a lot of I know that right now out in the city, there are a lot of residents who are hurting. My experience has just been fabulous with the residents that I've come in contact with that are just so grateful for the things that are being done by the city and the staff. Anna Paulina Luna's office started a fundraiser, and they did a drive for relief supplies for all of the beaches. They started ours. I know that Bay Pines Tackle, they provided a ton of what you see in the chamber today, in addition to other people that I'm not even aware of at this time that brought things in while we were out today. But our community is really coming together, and a shout out to all the residents who are out there and are keeping their attitude and their smiles on their face. It is not easy, and we will continue to roll down and do what we can for each other. So if there's no further comment.
I would just like to say, during this tough time, Madeira Beach, stay strong, stay positive, and help your neighbor through these times. Thank you.
Would you like to make a comment?
Yes, ma'am. My name's John Costello. I was born on Madeira Beach, raised here. I moved to Fort Myers when Hurricane Ian hit, and I lost the house I bought and the boat I bought, and walked away with absolutely nothing. But I showed up the day before I got here. I got on the beach with the same pair of shorts I'm wearing today. I did get a pair of shoes today, and I borrowed a shirt. And yes, I'm homeless, but fortunately, I have a good friend who had a boat at the marina and said if I would check on it, he couldn't get it across the bridge, he'd lend it to me. And I've been showing people back and forth. And my buddy down in Fort Myers, they didn't get impacted as bad down there. They still have ice. I have access to grab 10,000 pounds of ice whenever I want to. I want to know if it's okay if right across the bay from, I'm trying to think where it's at. I want to say the Elks Lodge, but there's a little community center there with a little tiny boat ramp and a dock. Can I put some bats of ice there? I have a couple friends with some boats, and we want to go distribute it and hand it out along with gasoline. Is it okay? Is that okay?
So after this meeting, when we adjourn, if you could talk to the city manager.
Yes, ma'am.
And he is the one who can help coordinate that.
Please and thank you. Yeah. And
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. With no further comments, it is 5:59 and we are adjourned.